welcome to my very first, financial literacy lunch, right? Thank you for being here. So this is the first of a series of lunch, 30 minutes lunch sessions I have in mind. I'm going to keep this on an ongoing weekly basis. And I think today there's a few logistics hiccups, but I will figure it out. This is the first time I'm using Zoom webinar as well, but it's fun. So it's a learning experience. I will figure it out and probably send out the registration way in advance so that everybody gets the time to log in and prepare, be in a learning state for this 30 minutes. So today's lunch, right? The first session, I want to focus on why financial literacy is important to us and how it can help us to plan for our future. So the intention for everybody for this financial literacy lunch bite is for me to add value to everyone. Towards the end, we'll see whether there's time for me to take in questions. Otherwise, please feel free to send me, you can message me, you can email me your questions and I will address it in the next lunch bite sessions. So the intention is to add value to everyone, and intention is also for me to ask questions to trigger thoughts in your mind. When I ask question, or rather when people ask questions, in your mind, you'll be thinking about how it relates to you in your own life. So it's a good thinking process. If you're comfortable sharing with the group, feel free to key in the chat box. Otherwise, just ask yourself the same questions as I'm asking as well. So that it is also a session to raise awareness about your life financially, where you want to be and stuff like that. I'll go into more detail as we begin. So yep, it'd be good if it's interactive and you'll be able to type your answers into the chat box, and I will check on and off to make sure that I address all the needs, all the questions. Okay. First off, let me self-introduce myself. I am the founder and principal consultant of Expense Concierge Solution. I am a certified coach and psychotherapist in neuro-linguistic programming. Associate certified coach with International Coach Federation as well. This is where my experience in coaching comes in. So essentially what I do is I combine the coaching aspect with the cash flow aspect. And the cash flow aspect is based on my 20 years of banking experience, and also on my own experience when it comes to credit card, my own financial goals. And there's a lot of tips and practical tips and stuff that I can share with regards to my own experience as well. So yep. And to share a little bit about my own journey when it comes to specifically my own financial journey. When I first came out to work, I was in my 20s. So when I first came out to work, I was very excited to get my credit card and very excited to have a job that actually pays me a salary. So when I got my salary, I went on a spending spree, and it was very interesting to know that, to see the power of money in my life. So I can essentially buy things, of course, within that salary limit that I have. Essentially I buy things that, it felt good to spend. And it came to a point in time where there's this specific incident that actually woke me up. On hindsight, it was a good incident. But at the point in time, I was in despair because I've been a very independent person. So I don't really share a lot of things with many people. But this particular incident actually woke me up because of the experience I have in my finances. Cash flow side, when I got my first credit card, I actually went on a spending spree, and based on that, I actually got around to racking up quite a little bit of debt. So it took me a few years. That particular incident caused me to go to the library to borrow every single book I can find on financial cash flow, on investments, on savings, on everything, all the books that you can name. And I'm still reading on it, like, the Robert Kiyosaki, the T. Harv Eker, all the, cash flow stuff, and everything to do with investments, property, stocks, forex, crypto. I've tried it all. And that is my financial journey. So it took me, because of that particular incident with my credit card, it took me a few years to climb out of that, and also took me a lot more years to get my finances in order. And now I am in the space where this is my office. If you can tell, this is essentially a shopping mall, and my office is with me wherever I go. Yeah. So I have had offices where I'm at the beach doing my stuff, and yeah, and that's my office for the day. So this is the lifestyle that I want, and to reach, it took me a long time to come to the realization that where I want to be in a position to design my life, um yeah, to design how I want my life to be, and that includes taking charge of my finances. And it is my belief that finances is not everything, but it is something that will help. um it will not, it's not the make or break factor, but it is something that is of importance. I mean, you can't do without money, right? I'll be lying to you if I tell you that, oh, you can survive, you can survive on an ongoing basis without having a job. No, that's not true. Money is essential, but money is also not the determinant for our happiness in life. So it is a fine balance. Yeah. So what I'm going to share with you, or what my is through my own experiences, my learnings, my own personal realizations, and I will be sharing with you things that has helped me along the way. And yeah, so it will be things that, I hope will help you too. So moving on, we are looking at why is financial literacy important? What do you think? I'm going to pause for a while and give you some time to think. Take some time to ask yourself this question: why is it important to you? Why are you here? Why are you interested to learn about financial literacy? So I'm going to take 30 seconds. I'm going to pause here just so that you can, yeah, think about it. Okay, so you can share with me if you want. You can share in the chat box what is the answer you have when it comes to, why is financial literacy important. So I will share with you my definition and my yeah, look at the chat. Wow. Thank you, Richard. Richard says it's critical to understand so as to better structure our financial health. Wow. Yes, very nice. So yeah, just so you note on the soft, so I'm going to move my mic a bit higher. Okay. So for me, and that is important. It's important to understand financial literacy to structure our financial health. So it is also, to me, financial literacy also pertains to our peace of mind, right? And I'm not sure what financial health means to you, Richard, but financial health to me means my mind, peace of mind. Yeah, my state of being. So share with you the answer that I have prepared is actually, am I moving my mouse? Yeah, it's this. This is my answer to why financial literacy is important. It is the beingness. And what do I mean by beingness? Beingness is essentially a state of being. So it is having the peace of mind. It is having, yes, I also says financial health means not having any money worries. That too, which relates back to the peace of mind. To be in a state of having the peace of mind, having legacy planning being put in place, having freedom, having the ability to do what you want, having the ability to be in a state of, you want to work instead of you need to work. I'm sure understand what I mean by the having to go to work where out of responsibility, I have to go to work because I have debts, because I have bills to pay, because I need to feed my family. And all these are good. And don't get me wrong, jobs are good. It's the state of being that I'm talking about, whether are we in the state of we want to go to work or we have to go to work. So what I described earlier is the having to go to work, the responsibilities, the no choice but to go to work because I have to pay the bills kind of mentality. Whereas the want to go to work is the excitement of, waking up in the morning, going to work because you want to, and, having the ability to sack your boss anytime you want, if, you want to. So it's also about having choice in your life, having choice in your job, your career, doing what you want to do. It's about choices. And all this relates back to the beingness, the state of being. So start thinking about, this is one important question that I want to ask every one of you. How do you want to be? So the question is, how do you want to be? A lot of people, when they think about finances, they also think about retirement, and rightly so. They think about retirement, they think about their financial health, they think about what they want to do. But my question here, which I feel is more important, is how do you want to be? And for example, some people may say that, okay, when do they want to retire? They want to retire when they have $1 million in the bank. They want to retire when they have, when they reach age 65. They retire when they have reached a certain milestone in their career. But that is the what they have and what they want. So my question is, when it comes to retirement, how do you want to be when you retire? And that is a very big question if you think about it. And it not many people have the answer up front. It takes some thinking about it, the beingness. How do you want to be? For me personally, when I want to be in the state wherever I am, it could be retiring, it could be where I am now. But I want to be in a state where I am being myself, where I am being free, where I have choice, where I have freedom. So that is my values. What about yours? Think about where you want to be, and from there map your way towards the action plan to get you there. So it is the being first, then the doing. So we have the be do have chart, which I'll share more with you in the next few sessions. There's this thing about being first, then doing, and then you will have. So that is a principle that I can share the next time round. And I'm also being mindful of the time that, so I need to move on to the next one. And so this round, I've prepared a particular framework that I want to share with you guys, and I want to add value to you. And this framework is a 4-part process on how to reach your goals. Specifically financial goals, because we're talking about cash flow now, and each of them is a separate topic on its own. And in the next few sessions, next few lunch bites, I will touch on each of them specifically. Today, I'll give you an overview of each of the framework. So the first one is the now. And what is now? Now is the present state. The now is where you are now. So questions to trigger your thoughts. Where are you at now? What do you have? What are your assets, liabilities? Do you know how many assets you have? How much liabilities you have? How many of them are liquid, illiquid, short term, long term? Do you know what is your total net worth? It is all about the now, your current state. And it's also about taking stock of what is your experience with money. So apart from the physical dollars and cents, it's also about our mindset, our experience as well. So at this point in time, what is your experience with money? And how have you managed your relationship with money? What is your relationship with money like? There are people who who have a bad relationship with money where they don't want to look at, they don't want to know anything when it comes to money. And there's a term for it. I call them the financial ostrich. Yeah, essentially where they just put their head to the sand and they don't open their bills, don't talk to anybody about it, don't even want to look at their bank balance. They are happily not knowing what it is. It causes them stress, but they choose the ostrich method. Yeah. So it's about the now. Taking stock of what you have now, knowing where you are now, brings you a long way to where you can be. Like for example, for someone who is who wants to lose weight, they want to lose 5 kg. How do you know whether you have lost 5 kg? You have to know where you are now. What's your weight now before you can lose maybe 5 kg? If you do not know where you are now, there's no basis for measurement. That 5 kg has no start and end. So it's important to find out where we are now. And are you where you want to be? What is your purpose? How do you go about tracking your expenses, but not tracking it at the same time? So this is an interesting concept, which it will take me another 15 minutes to share about it. So I'll go in depth in my next lunch bite on the now. And so in summary, the now is about your assets, liabilities, your mindset, your experience, what do you have, your loans, the spending plan and stuff like that. So that is the now. So the second part of the framework is blocks. So we're going to look at what are the blocks you have in your life. There are essentially in our life, we have blocks that are blocking us to get to where we want to be. Otherwise, if there are no blocks, right, we will have already been there. So assuming we want to be, for example, financial free, that is a very liberal term. And everybody has different definitions of financial, financial independence. Yeah, financial freedom or financial independence. To me, they're the same thing, but to some people, it could be different. So when it comes to financial independence, there are blocks in our life. If that is something that we want, where we want to be, there will be blocks in your life right now. Otherwise, you would have already achieved it. So does that make sense? Yeah. So blocks are interferences that stops us from getting to where we want to be. And blocks are limiting beliefs in our lives. When we talk about money, it could be beliefs in us where that helps us to don't really manage money the way that we want to, or we put ourselves in a position where we don't really attract money into our lives. And for blocks, we look at what is stopping us, what are the past negative experiences that we have when it comes to money. It could be because of our parents, people who are important in our life when we were young, stuff like that. Yeah. So that's the second step of the framework. Oh, sorry, I missed so this is the blocks slide. So the next one is actually resources. Resources. What are resources? Resources are positive experience that we can rely on. We can pull them up when we need to achieve a goal. We can strengthen them. There are tools that we can utilize to pull out our resources. And in our unconscious mind, in our mind, earlier I mentioned that I'm actually a certified coach in neuro-linguistic programming. So neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, essentially talks about our conscious mind and our unconscious mind. So our conscious mind, in summary, very, very briefly, conscious mind it only occupies 10% of our brain, which is our thinking mind. And our unconscious mind essentially is 90%, the huge depth of untapped resources that we have. So it is a very, very underutilized resource. And in NLP, we have a presupposition that says if we can spot it, we've got it. Means if you feel that, for example, what you need is confidence or courage, to do something, to take a step, to take this a step in the direction that gets you towards where you want to be. then if you can spot it that you need courage, means you have got it in your experience, in your life experience. It could be when you were young, when you were in school, when you were in your mother's womb, when you were, any of your past life experiences. Courage, if you can spot it, you've got it. Okay. And resources, we also look at our values, what is important to us, and what are the positive experience, also what are the positive experience that you have when it comes to money. We all have experiences in us, definitely. And so it's about our mind categorizing them into, oh, that's a good one. Oh, no, that's a bad one. We should stay far away from that. So we have beliefs that limit us. We also have beliefs that help us to propel us forward as well. So it's about knowing which one to tap on when we need it. Yeah, so that's resources. So the last step of the 4-step framework is actually goals. So what are goals? Goals are things that we set as a target, and goals are things where we work towards, and goals are things that we set in motion. We break down the steps to get towards the goal, and we set in motion so that we can get to our goals. So when we talk about goals, I like to ask this question: what is your purpose, or what is your intention in wanting to achieve this goal? And we look at the purpose, we look at the why, the so-called why, the purpose behind it, why we do it, because as humans, we are motivated by two things. Human psychology, we are motivated by two things. First, we are motivated towards the positive, where we feel good, where we gain the positive part of it. We are also motivated by moving away from fear. So we either move away from fear to work towards a goal to get us to do certain thing, right? We will do it because it moves us towards a gain where we like it, or it moves us away from fear. So it's a way and towards mindset and mentality that we have towards goals. So when you understand this, that as humans, we either move away or we move towards, then when we set goals and you understand your reason why you do certain things, it is easier for you to determine, oh, because I'm doing this, I want this goal. Is it because I want something? Or is it because I want to move away from fear? For example, why do people want, for example, I'm just thinking of something off the top of my head. Why do people want to have enough money in the bank account before they can retire? For example, that enough could be anything to them. For some people, it could be 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 100 billion. Yeah. So why do they need enough money? It's because they are moving away from the fear of not enough. They're afraid that, when they stop working, when the income stops coming in, they will not have enough to survive on. That is the fear of not enough. And that brings me to another principle, which I didn't state here, but it's another principle of having cash versus having cash flow. There is a big difference between having cash in the bank, having a lump sum in the bank, or having cash flow that's coming in, recurring income that's coming in every single month. So there's a big difference. And when you understand, I'll talk more about it in my next session. When you understand the concept behind it, then you'll be able to structure your financial life in a way that, it brings you the highest form of leverage based on the limited amount of time or money that we have. So the key thing here is to leverage on what we have now to help us to get to where we want to be.